are Harpers Ferry Middle School students, and we chose to make this video so we can find out more about park rangers' personal experiences and what they do for our park.
Kim Biggs,
Chuck Dennis,
Stephen M. Lowe,
Dennis E. Fry,
Jordan Kiefer,
Stan McGee.
I'm a park ranger in interpretation in the Visitor Services branch.
information specialist.
I'm the park landscape architect.
I'm the chief historian, and I'm also the chief of interpretation, education, volunteerism, and partnerships.
So here I'm one of the law enforcement rangers.
I'm a park ranger.
Education specialist here at Harpers Ferry National Historical Park.
The most memorable thing probably was the flood of 1985. I lived here, right down here near the John Brown Fort. The house is today the information center, the Master Armorer's house. Fortunately, I lived on the second floor. When I evacuated my house for the last time, I had 4 cats. So when I left, I had 2 cats in one arm and 2 cats in the other arm. When I walked out the front door of my home, I literally walked into the Shenandoah River. It was already flowing down Shenandoah Street.
I'm not sure if I should even say this, but I had an eerie experience in Building 40. Me and my wife were in the house. I actually saw a cup levitate off the table and then drop to the floor. And we freaked. That's the most memorable thing I can tell you that happened at Harpers Ferry Park.
One of the coolest things here at the park was to work during the John Brown 150th anniversary. And to actually be here in Harpers Ferry on the night of October 16th when John Brown first came to Harpers Ferry to strike a blow for freedom. And to be here 150 years after him that evening, and just to be on the same ground that he was on, I think that's got to be one of the highlights that I'm going to take away.
So, one time I was handing out handing out maps in here, and they print them off on Xerox sheets. So one day I was handing out maps. Or at least I thought I was. And I was handing out these things, and I'd handed out about 50 of them. And somebody said, "There's nothing on the paper. These are blank sheets. I've been giving people blank sheets instead of the map." And I, of course, couldn't see it, so. But that was pretty funny.
When in the summer we had this special event, and I was in charge of the group that would come for the event. And they were supposed to come at 9 o'clock, and it was 9:15, it was 9:30, and they were still not here. And I was furious, because I think when you are coming to an event here at Harpers Ferry, you should be on time. So I had my radio on, and I was just fussing. I was just saying, I can't understand why they're late. And they told me that they would be here right at 9 o'clock. And so what happened, I did not turn my radio off when I was talking. And so one of the ladies called me and she says, "Winnie, you have your radio off." I was so embarrassed. I didn't know what to do. So that was the funniest thing that happened to me in the park.
It's not necessarily something funny that happened to me, but it's something that a visitor has done. I mean, I could go on and on about different things that people have gotten themselves into. One recently we had up at the train station, a woman had locked her keys in her car. And, well, she thought she locked her keys in her car. So we have these kits that it's basically a glorified coat hanger. But we wedge the door open and we get the piece of metal in there and we try to undo the lock. So I'm in the process of doing that, and it's taken a while. She's kind of standing there next to me, and all of a sudden she decides to go for her phone in her pocket. Well, guess what she found in her pocket? Her keys. So, you know, it's funny situations like that where you kind of laugh and say, okay, well, I guess you're good to go. Have a nice day. And, you know, like I said, people get into all kinds of situations like that pretty much on a daily basis.
Funniest thing that ever happened to me, Jesse, ask me that question when you turn 18. Because I cannot answer that question. I would say that my answer to that question would not be PG rated or even R rated. So come back after you turn 18.